Hey there, and welcome to the Pixel Union video guide to setting up your homepage using our Empire Shopify theme. Today I'll be showing you how to go from a blank slate Empire install to a fully fleshed out, highly customized version that will look something like this demo shop. Specifically, I'll be showing you how to add and configure Empire's homepage sections. That includes sections for blog posts, collection lists, featured collections, image grids, logo lists, Mosaics, Instagram and Twitter feeds, as well as menu lists. If there's a specific section you need help with, you can skip ahead using the chapter markers in this video, or head over to our support center, where you'll find all kinds of information, including detailed instructions for setting up your homepage. Before we jump into configuring our theme, we've got to take care of a few important fundamentals. What you're looking at now is the Shopify admin panel of our store. And the first thing we're going to look at is products, which you'll find over here in the left sidebar. I already have quite a number of products set up in my store, and if you click on them, you'll see they each have a title, description, some images, and tags set up and ready to go. Additionally, if you click over here on collections, you'll see that these products have already been organized into collections. You can do this conditionally, pulling products that match or contain certain attributes, or you can create collections manually by inputting products one at a time. It's also helpful to have a few posts set up in advance. And as you can see here, by clicking through to Online Store and then Blog Posts, we've already done that. Each of these posts has a title, some content, a featured image, and some tags. Make sure the visibility of all your posts is set to visible. Below that, you can click on Pages and see each of the pages that we might want to link off to from our home page. Typically, these are pages with fairly static content, like an About page, a Contact page, and maybe an FAQ page. Finally, any home page worth its salt is going to have at least one menu, so you're going to want to click on Navigation and add some of those. If you need a hand setting up your menus, or with anything on the Shopify admin, you can always hit up the Shopify Help Center for a tutorial. Okay. So setting all of that up takes some time, but once you're there, you've got your products, collections, blog posts, pages, and menus set up more or less the way you want. You can go ahead and open up the theme editor. To do that, just click back to Online Store and find the big purple Customize Theme button. This is the theme editor. You'll see that the sections and settings are contained over here in this left sidebar, and a preview of your store is to the right. Any changes you make are automatically going to update in the preview, and if you prefer to see how your site is looking on mobile as opposed to desktop, all you need to do is go over to the bottom left corner and click the Mobile Preview button. Moving right along, you'll see that the theme editor is divided into two tabs, Sections and General Settings. The Sections tab contains all the sections that are available to you in Empire. Essentially, these sections are the building blocks of your store. They allow you to assemble pages out of these customizable, reorderable components. See how each of them corresponds to placeholder content in the preview. For example, if I go over here and add a featured collection section, what I see is this, some default content that gives you an idea of the size and styling of the section, but without any actual content from my store. You should also know that the sections you see listed here are not all of the sections available in Empire. There might also be sections or settings that are unique to the product page, or collection page, or contact page. You can see those by navigating to those pages within the preview, and we'll cover those in another video. The first thing I'd recommend doing in the theme editor is choosing your theme style. You can do that by clicking on the General Settings tab right next to the Sections tab and scrolling down to the bottom where it says Change Theme Style. Empire comes with 3 different theme styles, which you can preview by visiting our Industrial, Supply, and Graphic demos. Pay attention to the fonts and colors that each one uses and select the one that best matches what you've envisioned for your store. Now that I've selected a theme style, we're ready to jump into some of these sections and start building our homepage. Notice that your homepage is made up of what we call dynamic and fixed sections. Dynamic means they're movable, that you can add, delete, and rearrange them, and fixed means they're fixed to various points of your site and can't be repositioned. With Empire, these are your header and footer sections, which you'll see out of the box, whereas just about everything else can be added and deleted from this list. We're going to take things from the top and start with the header. The first option you have is to enable the sticky header, so named because it sticks to the top of visitors' screens, even after they've scrolled past the top of the page. Next up, we can add a logo image. Now, by default, Empire displays your store name as your logo here, but if you want to swap it for your actual logo, all you have to do is click the blue Upload Image button and select the file you'd like to use. Below that, you've got your search options. Live search is one of Empire's most exciting features, so we highly recommend switching it on. This allows users to see suggested products based on what they've already typed in the search box. For example, if your store sells furniture and a user enters chair, they might be presented with options like these. The Quick Links dropdown is a way that you can guide customers to certain products before they even start typing. So the first time they open the search box, they would see something like this, populated with whichever menu you select from the dropdown. Next up is navigation, and this top field here simply connects the menu you've already set up to the top-level header navigation you see here. Mega navigation is a little more complicated, but not much. If you're already familiar with mega navigation, it essentially adds additional columns and tiers to your top-level nav, making it bigger and more in-depth. It's super helpful for large inventories and makes it easier for customers to find the product they're looking for. Following the in-editor instructions, you need to enter the exact title of the link in your menu from where you want the mega nav to stem. Below, in this content section, you can add the menus you want to show. Just click on a menu block and select the menu you want to display from this dropdown. We've set up our menu lists here as lists containing collections. So the gifts menu contains birthday, wedding, and anniversary gifts. The fun menu contains books, arts and crafts, games and puzzles, and so on. You can add up to 10 menus to your mega nav with Empire. If there's more than can be shown in the browser width, users will be able to scroll through them horizontally, like so. Moving to the opposite end of the homepage, we're going to open up the footer settings. Typically, the footer is the area where visitors expect to find the fine print, legal information like terms and conditions and privacy policies, but also FAQs, size guides, and contact information. The first option here is to enable payment icons. If you want to be able to show users which payment icons your store accepts, check this box. If they don't appear right away, it's because you haven't activated your payment options in the Shopify admin yet. You can do that by going back to the dashboard, clicking on Settings, and then Payment. The most basic form is Shopify Payments, which you'll need to set up before you can start accepting orders. Back in the theme editor, you can add a menu to your footer if you want by selecting it from this additional menu dropdown. Unless you want to use a menu you've already used elsewhere in your store, it can be helpful to create one called Footer Menu, as we've done here. The content section below lets you add 4 optional types of content to your footer: menu, rich text, social accounts, and newsletter. Just click Add Content, select the one you want to add, and follow the prompts. If you add a newsletter sign-up to your footer, note that anyone who signs up will be added to your customer list, located under Customers in the Shopify admin. If you want to filter this list, say you want to see only people that have intentionally subscribed to your newsletter versus subscribers and purchasers, you can sort them by tag using the Filter Customer field. Newsletter opt-ins will be findable with the Newsletter tag. For the rest of the video, we'll be focused on dynamic sections, meaning the optional rearrangeable sections you see when you click here on Add Section. First up is blog posts, and the first option is to decide whether or not you actually want to call it that. You can set the heading for your blog post section to whatever you want here, or you can hide it by leaving the field empty. Next, select the blog you want to feature from the blog dropdown. For most blogs, maintaining one blog is enough, but others create multiple blogs to better categorize information, including customer stories, tips, and tutorials. If you want to customize whether or not the publish date or post author display, you can switch those options on or off from the section settings here. Collection list sections are designed to help you showcase new or seasonal collections on your homepage. They're a little different from featured collections in that they list the collections themselves rather than the products within them. Again, you can give this section a heading at the top here if you wish, or leave it blank if you don't. Each of the blocks here corresponds to a title in the preview. So if we open up this first one and select a collection from the dropdown, we'll see that collection pop up in the preview. By default, the image will be either the featured image you've set or the first product in the collection. If you want to override it, you can upload a different image here. You can repeat this process, opening up or adding as many collection blocks as you want. Here's what it looks like when you've configured 4. The Featured Collection section is designed to draw attention to products from a specific collection on your homepage. You can display up to 5 products from the same collection in each Featured Collection section. Once again, you'll start by adding, changing, or removing the heading in this top field. Then select the collection you want to showcase from this dropdown, and you should see the tiles populate automatically with that collection. If you want to customize the call to action, which is this final tile here, you can start by changing the text color. And if you want to use an image as the background instead of a solid color, you can click Upload Image. The background color is actually tied to the theme style you've chosen, and changing it will affect your entire theme, or at least the color of the links throughout your theme. You'll see that if I expand these general settings here, there's a warning that any changes made will affect your general settings, meaning they'll show up beyond just your featured collection call to action or even your homepage. The background color of the call to action is tied to the link color, so if we were to change this color to green, not only does the background change, but so do these collection links here, and these prices here. We're going to save the rest of these settings for another video, but if you want to further customize the look of this section or any other, you're welcome to poke around on your own. Empire comes with a distinctive grid section you can use to welcome customers to your store, say a bit about your brand, or share store news. They're also super useful for merchandising new products and promotions, like we've done here. Start by adding, editing, or removing the heading here. You can also customize the section height by making a selection from the dropdown. Now, go down to Content and click on one of the grid blocks. Again, each of these corresponds to a placeholder tile in the preview. So if we open up this first one and add an image, you'll see that image added to the first tile in our store. Add your heading, add some text, and customize the text color if you wish. If you want to add a call to action, you can type or copy-paste a URL into the link field, as well as a button text into the field below that. You can even customize the button style. Finally, you can customize the layout here. Set it to either full or half width and you're good to go. Note that you can customize the width of each tile independently, so if you want to switch things up and alternate half and full width, you can. Logo list sections are a great way to build social proof with your customers. You can use any number of logo types here. Some common ones include your suppliers, collaborators, or media that have featured your store in any way. If you add a logo list section to your homepage, you'll start by adding or removing the heading. Then open up a logo block and upload an image. Note that you must use JPEG files here. If you use a PNG file, you're going to end up with a big black box, and that's no good. You can also link the logo to a web page if you want by completing the link field here. You can display up to 18 linked logos in the logo list section. Similar to the grid section we covered earlier, Empire's Mosaics section gives you an eye-catching way to welcome customers to your store, share news, and merchandise products and promotions. The difference is, instead of being a standard 1 or 2 column stacked grid, it's a mosaic or masonry-inspired layout that shape-shifts as you add and delete content blocks. Each mosaic section can contain up to 5 customizable tiles. You can create mosaics the same way as you would a grid. Open up a content block, upload an image, give it a heading, add some text, tweak the color, then add the link, button text, and button style. Here's what it'll look like when you're done. To integrate your Instagram account, you'll need to first locate and input your Instagram access token. Click through to our token generator here, then click the turquoise button. If you're already logged into your Instagram account, you'll just need to authorize the account and then grab this token here and paste it into the theme editor. The Twitter section displays your store's 3 most recent tweets. Simply enter an optional heading into the first field, then your username in the second. You can also check the box Show Retweets if you're into that, or Show Images if you want those to be included in your feed. We've given you the option to exclude these because sometimes the things you post to Twitter don't always jive with your store design. Finally, to give you even more options for adding links and menus to your store, Empire includes a menu list section, which lets you add links, menus, and images to your homepage. If you want, you could repeat some of the menus that you've included in your MegaNav or create completely new ones. Each of the menu blocks you see here corresponds to a menu list tile in the preview. If you open one up, you'll see that you can connect each menu from the top dropdown. You can also add a complementary image by clicking here and selecting an image to display beside each menu list. You'll max out at 6 menu lists. Here's what it looks like if you complete them all. That just about does it. We've gone from a fresh install of the theme to a homepage that's pretty well launch ready. Of course, there's still plenty of other pages and topics to cover, so be sure to check out our other videos for more information on how to set up your Empire Shopify theme. And remember, if you hit any snags at any point along the way, you can always visit our support center at support.pixelunion.net to check out the documentation for your theme. If you have a burning question you can't find the answer to, just use the purple button here to submit a request to our support team. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for joining me for this Pixel Union video guide to setting up your homepage using Empire, and best of luck with your store.